All right, guys, you're all welcome to our weekly trade analysis forecast. We're looking at the market ahead. So this is not a review, this is a forecast. So if you're joining us for the first time or watching this video on YouTube, this is what we do every week. So you can join us by participating in our Telegram group. There's a link in the description below. Subscribe and also hit your bell notification so you'll be able to get access to the videos once we're live. And also join us on the Telegram group. You'll be able to have access. It's free access to the Telegram group for further daily analysis and details that you will need to trade GBpUSD. Of course, with the committee that we have there are other traders as well in that committee that will be able to share the analysis of other trades, just in case you do not trade GBpUSD. There are other trades that traders are sharing as well, just to add their view about the market, which will be very beneficial to you. So do not hesitate to, join us in the Telegram group, hit the subscribe button. All right, so that's what we're looking at today. Now, the market is massive drop for the past few weeks. Now we're looking at the previous months. This is a monthly time frame, and then we are looking at what has been happening previously in the month past. So we see that price bounces off from the pivot level, and then that was a very good concentration area. And then price started dropping massively from there. So we see a massive drop all the way down. Now we are seeing that current drop according to the monthly time frame. We are seeing this month. So this month we have about a few days, about 9 days left or so. So yeah, give or take 9 days left in the month. So this month we are still hoping that the candle that you see here may drop to break this low. Now I'm not saying it's gonna do it. I'm saying we hope so. Already we have a resistance, a support created at the zone. If you can see, I already have my support there. Let me just remove the drawing a minute so you guys can see what I mean. Let me see if I can remove all those lines so you can see. All right. Here, what I'm talking about. Now, there is a breakpoint there. We have a support there already that was formed previously, right there. Okay, and that also have a touch here, a touch here. So this was the pandemic in the month in the year of 2020 month of March. So we have a massive drop on that. That is March 2020. Massive drop. That's where we have the biggest drop ever in the history of British pounds in the forex market. All right, this is the biggest drop we've ever found. The market has gone to that's the lowest the market has gotten to 1.1400 in the psychological level. So the market has gotten there for the previous years, and we find the market coming back there again. Now, if you watch out to the top, we also find that there is a strong resistance zone at the top. So this is monthly time frame, mind you. So the market has been revolving around the zone for a couple of years now. Since when? Market broke through below that zone since 2016. So since 2016, we've been having the market, consolidating in between this zone. So now what do we need? Could there be a breakout to the downside? Possibly, maybe yes, maybe no. So if there will be a breakout to the downside, definitely wait for that pullback and another massive drop. So the British pounds may eventually drop to 0.9. Who knows? Or even at one pound per dollar or something, depending on what the market is doing at the moment. So we're looking at this key zone now it's hit the bottom. It hit the bottom right here, but there's still lower bottom. We have a lower bottom here, lower bottom here. So if I was to look at that to determine what the market is going to do, I will have to first highlight that bottom. Remember, this is a monthly time frame, and I also highlight the previous bottom. So we have those regions for the market to play around with. Okay, we have those regions for the market to play around with. Of course, we also have a kind of a consolidation, a rejection here, a support zone here that the market play around with. This is a zone, not just a line. So I'm just using a line just to let you see something, but that is a zone that the market got to. Now, away from that zone, we're actually looking at this current position here, where the market is at right now, because the market eventually broke below that support zone, and then it's dropping to the next support zone, and then to the next, hopefully. So now we need to look at it from the weekly time frame to be able to determine what the market is going to do. How low is it going to get? One of the beautiful things about the chart is that you can actually determine the momentum in the candles. You can tell when the market is still going to go down or go up depending on the momentum that the candle prints. You see that there is a small candle, big candle, small candle, big candle, small candle, and another big candle. So if you did that as a pattern for the past few months, so you can see there was a pattern there, then we should be expecting something like the market may break out of this one next month. So this month is still going to go down, probably a little bit of weak rejection created here, as you can see. So we have a little bit of, every time the month is coming to an end, you see the market create that pullback. I want to pay attention to this monthly candle first. All right, pay attention to this monthly candle. This is what I'm looking at. I see that every time the market, every time the month is coming to an end, according to this pattern here, I see that it creates a wick. That means if it's pulling back down, it pushes back up again a bit. Pull back down, pull back up again. It was dropping massively and eventually it got here and then pull back up towards the end of the month. So we're going to look at this candle as an example to determine what the next candle might be, because we are close to the end of the month. And we'll be able to tell how many days of that behavior was. And then we'll be able to predict what is going to happen in the next couple of 5 days of the trading week. So let's see, for example, we take this, and now this is a bit different because this was massive push up. That can happen here, like we have a previous rejection on this candle. We see this doji candle in the market printed and then pull all the way down, and then that can happen as a massive rejection on this zone. We are not sure yet, okay? We are just trying to find out what the market probably may be driving out this week, okay? So now I'm going to look at this particular candle first, this one, all right, in a lower time frame. So what I'm going to do is go to the weekly to see what happened there. Now, this is the weekly candle. So we saw from that rejection, we find out that the market had a pullback and a drop, okay? So every week, the market has a pullback and a drop. So this was the end of that candle. Let's look at it again from the monthly so you can understand what I'm saying. So this is the candle I'm looking at, all right? This one here. I'm looking at this candle right here. Okay, that's the candle I'm looking at. That's the candle I'm looking at. Of course, it's entering the other side of it, but I just want you to know that that's the candle. Okay, probably we do this and then probably do this better, but it's still breaking into it. But never mind, you'll be able to know. Alternatively, I can put horizontal line on it. That would be better. Let me put horizontal line there. Okay, let me put horizontal line there. All right, so with that, I can also leave the box in. So let me go to the weekly. Okay, here's what we're dealing with here. Remember, this candle is not part of it. This candle is not part of it. we're looking at the movement inside this place. Okay, this will happen. 1, 2, this is weekly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, that's 7 weeks. 7 weeks. Wow. So if that's 7 weeks, that means we have drop, 2 pullback, 3 drop, and 1 little pullback. Now, again, this is one chart. Again, we're looking at trading days. Remember that number of trading days, not just the way we count our calendar week. We're looking at the number of trading. We're looking at the trading day cycle, okay, which is majorly 24 hours of the market, 5 days a week, and then we're looking at that cycle. Okay, now that's what this one represents. So it's not like the daily what we have at the calendar weekly time frame. You know what I mean? Weekly frame. So I just want you to know that. So if you're seeing something like, oh, it's 7 weeks, it's 7 weeks, what's that? All right, let's look at the daily within that zone. Now, if you see the daily, we see that the market did a little bit of, movement, all right? That came back, and then consolidated within that zone. So that means that within that trading week, look at it this way. Within that trading week, we have May, all right? All through May. Then when the May was coming to an end, I want you to notice, when May was coming to an end, there was a pullback up and a consolidation, a little drop. Okay, let's go back to the weekly. We see the weekly here. This is a major pullback up. This is the weekly time frame. All right. This is a weekly time frame showing this is month of June 13th. June again, and it went to July. So here, there was a drop coming into the month of June. And then June, we had this drop. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 week. All right, that consolidated the month of June. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So the market came all the way down to this zone and then rejected back up. So this was 1 day move, that 1 week move, sorry, then the second move. So the 1 week market drop and then pull back up within that week. So that can happen. You can see a drop and a pullback. So when you see that, oh, we analyze that the market is going to be trending down, and then you saw a pullback. So what's going on? Why did you say there's a pullback? We said it's going to trend down, it's going to sell. Why is it buying? That is the work of the market that you cannot predict when the market is going to create a weak rejection or not. But on the lower time frame, you will be able to station yourself to trade it and as the same as buying and selling. So that's why you see every day when I come online, I'm looking at 2 plans, plan A and plan B, because I'm a flexible trader. I look at both ends of the market to take advantage of it because I do not know when the market is going to start retracing or pulling back or whatever. So I prepare myself when the market does that, and I'll take advantage of it. So just because we saw a downtrend, that doesn't mean in the lower time frame, if I see a pullback that will give me 50 pips, I'm not going to take it like a buy, something like this. Remember, this is a weekly time frame. If you see something like this happening, that means there's going to be a certain week whereby the market will push up, even though it's on a major downtrend. So you need to understand that very carefully if you're doing top-down analysis like this. All right, I just thought I should bring that in for those of you who are still trying to figure it out what to do when you see a downtrend happening, top-down analysis there and back, and you're looking at, okay, how do I go about it? Okay, now you see the previous, you see on the monthly time frame, I did these key zones, you see, and market respected them. These are psychological levels. This one is psychological level of 2100. 2000, although, yeah, that's 2000 about. And then we see another psychological level market bounces up here. All right, that is 16700. That's psychological level. Another psychological level here, market bounces off of 1.17900. So you can see the market respecting these psychological zones and then bouncing off even on the higher time frame to show you how strong they could get. Now the question is, what is the weekly time frame telling us? The weekly time frame is speaking. It's speaking very verbatim. Look at that. We have a strong resistance at that zone on the weekly time frame, and then the market created a bit of support at the zone, and this candle broke it. So we saw that there was a support that was created here, but we find a break already happened within that time frame. Okay, you will see it on the lower time frame if I show you deeper. So with this bearish momentum of this candle that you see this weekly, this week is already ended now. So this candle is going to break. By the time the market open, a new candle will pop up. So this candle now, what language is it telling us? What is it saying to us? Does it give you a sign that the market is down, is done going down? Is it done going down, or is still intending to go down? That's the question. So if you look at the market structure already, you can see that the market created structure, a drop, a pullback, a drop, another pullback. You can see that was a pullback stopped. The pullback stopped at that zone. Why? You can see the chart pattern that was printed there, or the candlestick pattern there. It created a higher high, a higher high, another higher high, and then lower high. So this was a swing high to produce a lower high, and then started dropping. So that is a reversal candle or a reversal chart pattern there that you can see from the higher time frame, and that is valid. That is valid. So here, what did you see? All right, a tweezer top. Market created that double top there and then dropped. The same, creating this a swing high, and then created a lower high, and now created a lower high, and this one's a lower low. If the market breaks now, that's a new lower low. So what's going to happen? Now you're thinking. So two things is going to happen. Either the market creates a candle to first of all push up by opening and pushes up before going down. So expect that to happen. So what do I mean? This is a strong Baruza candle. That means, what is it? I know sometimes I find it difficult to pronounce that candle, but this is a strong bearish engulfing candle with a very small wick in the top and the bottom. So you can see that the buyers are in this weekly time frame, strongly present. So to even be thinking of buying now is an error. So any buy movement will be like a pullback in the lower time frame. But it can be a lot of peak for you if you are a day trader and scalper too. So that's why you have to have two plans. Don't just stay on one plan. Oh, I'm gonna just sell this week. Yeah, you can. That's all right. You have a lot of time to wait for a pullback and a drop, a pullback and a drop. You follow the market structure. But all I can see right now is that there's still a downtrend coming. So the market will still go down. Based on the market structure that I'm seeing here and also the candlestick formation, I could tell that the market will still drop. Why? Because we see the momentum already heading down to this key zone. So what we need to see is that will the market bounce off here and then create another drop, or will it just keep dropping now because this is a new lower high, you get it? Lower low. So we're expecting more lower low. You see? And that way, that would be like a crash on GBP. That would be a crash on British pounds. Do you understand? So we did let this happen. That's one thing you want to know. So another thing to counteract this is you look at your fundamentals. Now, you can't just say, well, you are technical analysis, you don't look at the news. No, you have to tell what the market is doing by looking at the news. So you check the calendar and see what is going to happen this coming week, which is on the 21st of August to 27th of August. And if you can see on Tuesday, we have a lot of news coming in on Tuesday. So this is wonderful. So that means a prediction of the market may occur that will affect the British pounds. So we already see that EU is going to blast. All right, there's a massive flash manufacturing news coming, and we have another one on British pounds coming on Tuesday. So this is a very strong, important news. We have another news coming on USD, service PMI, and these are powerful news that will happen within that week, which is on Tuesday. So this may cause a lot of push, either to the upside or to the downside. That I cannot predict, depending on the outcome of these fundamentals. It depends on the outcome. So if the outcome favor the British pounds, then we expect that the market will start retracing from there. That means what we're going to see just a double bottom here, and then the market will start pushing up. You see? So it depends on what the market is doing. But if there was no fundamental to push this market, then we'll be seeing a massive drop entirely to the zone before the market will push up again to create. So we should be expecting that the market should create a new lows. But you know what? Fundamentals are there to fight against the analysis that we're making. So we know that the market makers go behind the fundamentals news, use the news as a way of manipulating the market by pushing the retail traders out of the market in the lower time frames, especially those of us that do day trading and scalping. Millions of people do that. So they take advantage of those markets and then kick a lot of us out of the market, and then before going in this direction that they want to go. But the truth is, if there will be no fundamentals, we are looking at technicals right now, heads long, then the market is actually heading down, following structure. So we just saw that there's a pull, a drop from that zone, okay? And then the market pulled back. Look at that. The market dropped, create a lower low, and then it pulled back into the 50% zone and tap into the 61% zone of the Fibonacci retracement, and then rejected it from that zone. Look at that. So that was a clean trade of structure. And what happens? Market is heading down to create a lower low. Where do you think the next lower low will be? This will be the first stop. The first stop will be at this 0 point. The second stop will be at this 27 point. That will be where the last lower low should be. If he extended, that would be too bad that the market would drop to this level. That would be too bad for British pounds. But if it gets to this level, that's all right. That's all right. That was the last point it got to, remember, in the pandemic. That's why we have this zone here. So if price get here and create a lower low, awesome, and then retrace and then create a double bottom again and then push back up to break the period and start going up, we understand that structure have changed. Then there's a reversal here. Why did I just draw that line? Because I'm zooming a trend line from that zone, right? And then the trend line breaks, then we know we're heading up. But at the moment, I can't see that we're heading up yet. I can only see that we're heading down. What do you guys think? We are on the weekly time frame. Just looking at the weekly time frame, there's a lot of information that the market is giving me. So the only problem we might have not to trade this zone to this zone. Let me show you something. This is beautiful, especially those of us that are in as a day trader. All right, you need to understand this. Did you know from where the market is right now, if it breaks there, it's going to come, if it comes all the way there, that's about 200 to 300 pips that is predicted to be leashed out this week. And it could get down to this zone, which is about 400 pips. The market could do that. So that's what I'm thinking that the market is going to do to create a lower low. Now let's look at it again. First of all, you cannot forecast the weekly trade without looking at the weekly time frame and the monthly time frame. You have to look at the monthly and the weekly to be able to forecast what the week trade will be. Now look at this this drop here. I want you to pay attention to this drop. All right. This was a trend to the downside. All right. We saw market pull all the way down here, pull up again, created a lower low, push up again, create a lower low, push up again. What happens? Instead of creating a lower low, and he broke and pushed up again, but he failed to create a lower high, a higher high, rather created another lower low. So that means the downtrend still continues. So now we have a pattern of M, and the market created a lower low by breaking the structure, and then pulled back a little bit into the high, and then created a lower high, and then dropped massively by creating a massive lower low of about close to 400 pips or even 500 pips. And then the next thing we saw is that the market pulled back again, because the market just cannot just keep going down, right? So this is a pullback, and this is the place we're measuring where market swing all the way down from a swing high to a swing low, the current swing high to a swing low, by creating this pullback. So this was the swing high to swing low that created this pullback. And what did the market do? The market now shifted. Instead of breaking the previous high, he failed. He failed to come up to break this high, rejected at this zone, and keep dropping. What is that? Structure, 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 structure. Market is following structure there. So what's happening now? I'm going down there, it says, I'm going down there. So what's that? The big bearish candle showing a momentum into the market. It's coming in, it's coming in, it's coming in. That means the next candle, we might see a little push up in the morning like that in the week, probably throughout the 9-day chart section from tonight. And then like that push up, something like that happen, and then you can see a drop. Once you start seeing a weak rejection, the market is heading down. Just be ready that week we should be selling all the way to the zone. Now, in a lower time frame, you're going to see some spikes because of the news. But if there's a spike up, it's going to reverse down to the direction to sell. So don't be deceived. I always tell you, oh boy, my student, I mean, I always tell my student, yeah, if you are trading the news, don't trade it when the news is about to release. Trade after the news release. Most of the time you see the news go up like this. Oh, bad omen, take a lot of people out, stop, activate their stop loss, set stop, whatever it is. Sometimes it goes up and down, smash up, smash down, and then what's going on here? Let's say the overall market on the higher time frame is a downtrend. You will still end up, the candle will end up smashing all the way down to that direction again. That's what you want to focus on. When you understand the overall market trend, the downtrend in the higher time frame, the market will respect that. That's why you see those swing trades. They don't get to be bothered by fundamental news. Doesn't matter how high it goes. All right. If they follow structure, it will respect it. The fundamentals will end up respecting market structure. It doesn't matter. So only those in the lower time frame, like from the 1 hour to the 1 minute time frame zone, will eventually get affected by all those spikes that is coming up this week on the fundamentals. So be noted that the fundamentals are coming in right here. Okay. So we have on Thursday the same thing, the USD. On Friday, the USD. All right. And then we have two major important news coming in on Friday. And then the one coming in on, obviously there are some low impact news. A little spike here and there can come up, like unemployment claims on USD, this one. That can come, obviously is following the GDP. All right. So let's assume like this EU now, this EU here on German Information Business Climate, that alone can cause some little movement in the market. Even this one on USD 50, this one here, where you have the new home sales, the Richmond manufacturing index, all of this can cause some little movement in the lower time frame. All right, you need to pay attention to that. Okay. So what are we looking at? We're seeing that the market is going to actually give us another possibly probable trade of what? Yeah, about 400 pips this week. So that means between 300 to 400 pips, the market is going to give us that to the downside before any major pullback or retracement or whatever you want to call it, or probably a reversal that may happen because it did that before, came all the way down here, started pushing up, came all the way down here again to this zone, which the market hasn't got into yet. So the worst case scenario is that the market will get down here to this zone, all right, which is about maybe 150 pips, which I believe is going to get to before going up. Another drop, all right, from that zone to this zone, which is 160 something pips before going back, if it has to go up. But at the moment with the candle formation that I'm seeing, I could tell that another lower low is about to be created from the push down that we're seeing from this candle, all right? So that's why we sold massively last week, Friday. It was a massive sale last week, Friday, of about 100 and something pips, massive drop. Okay, now let's look at the daily to confirm that. Now, if you check the daily, you can see that an M pattern has been formed. And this M pattern formed last week. And if you can tell, this was my breakout point. And I told my student, you know what, this is an M pattern forming. So we still expect a more drop to the downside. But what we need to do is to be careful. We want the neckline to break. If the neckline can break, then there's nothing stopping us from coming to this low. And that is exactly what happened. The market is dropping to this low at the moment. So we want to see that the market touch this zone properly to take out the previous low. This is the previous low at the moment. The market hasn't taken it out yet. This low is still lower than this. So if you're looking at market structure, we need a lower low. Otherwise, if we have an equal bottom, which is the worst case scenario, then the market is going to go back up. So that means we will not be in a zone of consolidation sort of in the daily time frame. But if you also look at the daily closely, you can tell that the market obviously is on a downtrend. Lower low created, all right? Pull back in. All right, this is a lower high to lower low, lower high now to lower low, structure broken, push up lower high. What do you think is going to happen next? To a lower low. Remember, this was not a structural break, this one. All right, this previous high was by news. This was caused by news or something. But this recent high could not break the previous high. So we still have a lower high here and another lower high here. So the downtrend is still very formative. It's very, very still formative. So that means it's still going down according to the structure. So if that is, this is the previous low, this is the previous low market break, previous low market break, previous low market break. So we can see market has been following that structure. So therefore, we expect that this will be a previous low that the market is going to break. So we still expect that the market will drop to the downside. Remember, I said there are fundamentals. So there could be a spike on the lower time frame, like 15 minutes, 5 minutes, all of those time frames. You see a spike, a push up of about 20, 25 pips, 30 pips, and then you think that the market is buying already, and then a little bit consolidation. Then all you know is another push to the downside again, massively. But you will not see it on any of these candlesticks like that, except you go to lower time frames. You see that they are all broken down. So yeah, this is what we're looking at for the week. So I want you as traders, prepare yourself that the market is still gonna drop. So go and do your chart analysis with this guide and prepare yourself for the week. All you just need to do to trade this coming week is wait for a pullback drop, wait for a pullback drop, wait for a pull until we get to the zone on the lower time frame. So you're gonna be waiting for that pullback and a drop. Wait for that pullback again, get ready for it and a drop. You get it? So that's what you're going to be taking. You're going to be taking the lower high to a lower low. You set the lower high to a lower low. Set the lower high to a lower low. That's what you should be waiting to do. Any question, guys? I believe we all got it. You got it? Do you understand what we just talked about?
Perfectly.
Awesome. Someone said perfectly. Any question? Do anyone have a question? Any comments? Any contributions?
Hello, sir.
Yes, one person at a time. Whoever wants to speak, just raise your hand and I'll ask you to go ahead. Yes, who is speaking now? Kazim. Yes, Kazim, go on.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, sir. Afternoon, sir.
Thank you for your education and your impact.
Thank you, sir.
In fact, sometimes you need to follow the trend, or some pullbacks can also confuse you. I don't know whether we should, when it's pullback, we should try and take something, or we should wait for we should wait to follow the trend. Because sometimes I get confused on that, and that is where I always make mistakes.
Okay. Yeah, it's a choice. It's about choice, isn't it? Because at the end of the day, it depends what you're seeing in the market. You have to trade what you see. But one of the beautiful things about the day trader is that you can always make two choices. You can decide to buy, you can decide to sell, depending on what you're looking at in the market and how much you want to make or how much PIP you are targeting to get out of the market. But in reality, our advice, trading with a trend is the best option for any trader. So you have to wait for a pullback and then ensure that the pullback has ended, that the market is beginning to resume to create a lower low. Then you jump in it. Okay, that's what you do.
Okay.
All right. Any other question? Anybody have another question? Yeah, you're welcome, bro. Anyone else have another question?
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, sir. How do you work together in the line? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sir, in the
Yes,
UK right now, and, we're looking at the news and everything. I would be, personally, I would be looking at what the fundamentals want to do this week, especially being like the end of the close of the month. Sir, your advice for some people that are really are struggling and the rest, you told us to wait for a pullback before we enter. But personally, I'm thinking of even staying off the market this week because we've never seen a crash before. We've not had, except during the pandemic, and we understood that it was based on the pandemic. So are we saying that like, is there like a crash? Is the crash? And most times when everybody, like I follow Warren Buffett, and he's saying that when everybody is buying, I think that's the time we should be selling and the rest. So I just feel that there was going to be a lot of manipulation, and there might be a lot of manipulation this week. And
yeah,
personally, I would just want to be careful because recently, but following your advice, I was able to make like 1.5% back of my account.
Awesome.
I'm almost at break even.
Awesome.
Unfortunately, this week is end of this week. This coming week is supposed to be my payout on my forex fund.
Wow.
And I wouldn't want to risk the.
You better, okay, that's fine. Just collect your money and wait for next month.
I would just prefer to just stay on. Okay, I'll just stay, even if I don't get paid out this appreciable amount this week, this at the end of the trading cycle. But I don't just know. Maybe I probably want to stay out of GBP USD because there's no pandemic, and it's taking out that last lower the March 2020.
Yeah.
I really don't want. Maybe probably Wednesday is a good time to trade and to see what they have done after so much news. Yeah. That's just my comment. Thank you so much, Trader C. Brown. Always a pleasure joining. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Any other person have a question, contribution to this?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I do.
All right. Go ahead.
Yeah. There is one thing I want to like look. I noticed.
Yes, sir.
And I want to really share it.
Okay.
While the forex is closed, if you look at US index, dollar index,
yes,
you see that the dollar index, even in the past 2 days, has moved up.
Yes.
So there is a very likelihood that in between the time that the dollar index was appreciating and forex market was closed, then there is a likelihood that there will be further push down when the market opens. You know, since the correlation between dollar index and GU is that when dollar index is going up, GU USD will be going down. So I just like noticed it earlier on this morning, and I just say I should share it. Then one other thing we should I want to say talk about as well is that generally of late the USD has really been strong across markets. It is not only GU. If you look at a whole lot of pairs that are trading with USD, yes, all of them are really losing value to USD. So it's something we should, you know, keep in mind as well, because generally, because even the euro and all of them, Europe markets, British market, and all of them, their currencies are losing value against the USD. So it is better that, okay, as the market is like going towards that direction, we just flow with it, so that it will not be that we are staying in front of a moving train when you are trying to like, okay, it's going to reverse, the market is reversing and all that. You just know it might just be a little pushback, and then it will hurt us. But if you are really looking at pushback, you just know that, okay, this trade I'm taking is a pullback trade, so that you don't like, you know, raise your hope too much on it. If it is just small, you were able to get, you can just get it and go your way, and then, you know, until you are sure that the market has actually reversed, then you can make another plan. That is my contribution today. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. All right. Yes. Any other person have contributions to this? Any question? Is all understood? Yeah. So this video will be available for you to watch again, and also pay attention to what we've said, and then you'll be able to look at the market for the week for yourself. I believe you'll be able to use this information to predict what the market is going to do next in your own way of analysis and strategy that you use. All right. But at the moment, that's what we're looking at. So just watch out. If by Monday the candle break the zone to the downside, then you have all of this for yourself. So the market will give you, this is a higher time frame. So understand that this is a higher time frame. So you're looking at like what? About 100 and something pips from here to here. That's about 300 and something pips. So we're looking at that, but I'm not sure it's going to get all the way down here. If it does, that will be equal massive low of the whole movement that the market has created. That means in the entire move of GDP USD of history, that will be the lowest low that the market has gone to. So if it got to tap into that low, then that will be it. Why? Because we check the monthly time frame. That's it. That's the place we're looking at here. Actually, this one is not even it. We're looking at this one here. So if the market tap into that zone, that will be it. So it was pandemic that dropped here, and we see that the market is planning heading that direction with this momentum that you're seeing. This bearish, crazy. Twice rejection and it failed to reject. Twice rejection, 1, 2, it fails to reject and it drops. You would have thought at this weak rejection, market to start pushing up. No, it failed. It failed to push up and it's still dropping. So yeah, like you said, Kayode said something. I said the market might be full of manipulations. I agree, it could be, but it can only affect those of us in the day traders and scalpers in the market. That's the only plan they have for us. to always manipulate that market. So trade wisely, trade smart. Listen, towards the end of the month like this, there are a lot of people who don't trade. And also towards the beginning of the month, there are a lot of people who don't trade. So again, depends on what you're looking at. Everyone has his own view. But for me, I know that I have to learn to trade smart, trade safe. So me and my team will be able to look at what we can get out of the market this coming week. So thank you guys for everyone. If you want to join us in the VIP is still open. Now I am doing a discount, a heavy discount on the mentorship program for 1 year. So the discount is lasting at the end of the month. This discount is 50% off. So if you have not joined and also register for that mentorship program for 1 year from me, then I think there is no other mentorship out there that will offer such a price. And I'm doing it for a special reason, best known to me, personal reason. And I'm doing it to help more people to come into the market and understand how to trade it. That's what I'm doing it for. So as low as $100 and something, you'll be able to get in, and that's cheap. So compared to the normal $400 that you were supposed to pay for mentorship, now you just have to pay like $195 or $194, something like that. Wow. And it's gonna end just in the end by this month. By August ending 31st, we're done with that offer. That promo will come to an end. So if you're smart, take advantage of it, and then let's roll together. So thank you guys. Hey, hit the subscribe button on my YouTube if you are watching again this video, and also make your comments, hit a thumb up, whatever you want to do. Join us on a Telegram group. We are expecting you guys to join us for free. Learn how to trade from us. Awesome. Thank you guys. Love you all, and I'll see you again. Peace out.